So I never knew or heard any music of Melanie Martinez. Yeah, when I saw that ugly figure on the album and the name of the artist, I was like, who is that? So discovering Portals is how I got introduced into her weird and creative world of music. It's funny because people tell me, dude, that's literally Crybaby / Melanie Martinez. You should know her. And I'm like, what's a crybaby? So I'm going to review this record based on 3 things. Number 1, the concept of the album. 2, the production. And 3, the enjoyment, how much I've enjoyed the album. So this is my honest review of the album Portals. So the concept of the album is really unique, interesting, and weird. It follows the story of herself, Melanie Martinez. She dies, I don't know why, and then she's reborn or resurrected, whatever, into a pink fairy creature, which is the front cover art of the album. Before she became that, I think she was a doll-like Barbie figure. I know there's some sort of lore there, but I don't know any of it, so... Anyways, the album cover art is really cool. It looks like a movie poster. I like the title, the character, the colors. Everything is very unique and creative and looks like a fantasy world. The content of her music explores a lot of self-reflection. For example, she explains through the songs how she has become a better person and that she is not letting her past and regrets get the most of her. She talks about anxiety and mental health issues. Melanie also talks about romance and how she deals with breakups or when a relationship with someone else doesn't go well because the boyfriend is a bit of a jerk. And also she talks about women empowerment. The album is full of complex metaphors that expresses ideas or themes. For example, in the song Void, she talks about struggling with anxiety and other mental health issues. And she compares those feelings like void. When you think of void, you think of something like a black hole from space or an empty space. So yeah, there's some brilliant writing in those lyrics. Production-wise, it showed that Melanie, the producers and writers, took their time and patience with this record. There's lots of tempo switches, lots of sound effects, ambient sounds, also lots of reverbs and voice changes. They use a lot of bass, drums, acoustic and electric guitars, and synthesizers. And let me say, they went full on experimental with that album. Some of the songs sounded more haunting, weird, and scary. Meanwhile, other songs sounded like pop, dance-like music. Meanwhile, other songs have a sweet vibe into it, and other songs sounded like rock. So there's a lot of variety for everyone. A really cool thing about the album is that every song transitions into the next one very nicely, either using sound effects, ambient sounds, or instruments. So it's a type of album you should listen in order instead of listening in a random order. Now, after talking about the concept and production of this record, now I am going to tell you if I've enjoyed listening or not to the album. And after listening to Portals a few times, I've come to the conclusion that this record wasn't quite for me. In my opinion, this album is not for everyone in general. I feel like this album was made to please her fans and to continue her story or lore, which is fine. So listening to the album, there were times when I felt uncomfortable. Sometimes the sound effects or the lyrics were a bit too graphic for me. A perfect example is a song called The Contortionist. So in that song, there were lots of sound effects of bones breaking to give the illusion or the idea of a contortionist bending or twisting her body. So while I was liking the music and the beat, the sound effects of the bones breaking were in the way in my ears, and I'm sorry, it wasn't pleasing.
Ow!
Like, imagine you are taking your family on a road trip in your car, and then the song pops up and the family starts to hear sounds of bones breaking. For sure, that's going to be an experience. They're gonna say like, son, what the heck are you listening? Also, some of the songs were kind of boring, like for example, Light Shower, Leeches, and Battle of the Larynx. And I tried listening to these songs over and over to see if somehow I connected to them, but never happened. So sadly, I didn't like most of the songs. And even though the songs had a story or an inspiring message, I still didn't quite like them. Maybe it's because the way it was made, I don't know. Also, the album is very mature. Melanie drops a lot of F-bombs, and some of the lyrics are really graphic. So it's not a family-friendly album. I would suggest or recommend listening to the clean version of the album. But I do have a list of my top 3 songs of the album Portals. The way that song was produced is amazing. Even though it's a sad theme, it sounds like a dance music. I like that it has that conflict, because even though it's a sad song, the way it was produced makes you want to dance. The writing, I think it's also genius. Another thing I like about the song is that both the verses and the chorus are easy to follow along singing. And I feel like something that makes some songs very trendy and popular is because they're easy to sing along with. You know, people love doing karaoke. They love singing those songs. This song has that. I have fun with this song. I think it's one of the most unique songs ever created. It has lots of tempo switches, catchy chorus, and when the song is finishing, it starts another song that's called Amulet. And that song is very, very cool because it keeps you moving with the beat. That song is like a classic alternative rock song. It has that grungy electric guitar with the drums, very priceless. It is a really cool song, also a song I have fun with. So that being said, that was my honest review of the album Portals by Melanie Martinez. So overall, I think that album should be like a 6 out of 10. Most of the songs I didn't like, and only 3 of the songs which were the ones I mentioned were the ones that stand out for me. Please comment down below what do you guys think of this album. I want to see you guys' opinions and, you know, share ideas and comments. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next video. Bye!